I'm Riley Miner, and I play Hiccup in the new How to Train Your Dragon live spectacular. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of our upcoming world tour.
She's a lot cuter than
You'll get to see how jaw-dropping theatrical magic and some high-tech gear invented just for this show brings these magical creatures to life. This is the most awesome live show ever staged. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this.
Welcome to Dragon Training! What do we have in store for you today? And attack!
Toothless and I have got to finish this. Higher, buddy! Come on! Higher!
We were in the midst of making the movie How to Train Your Dragon, and a couple of us had an opportunity to see this amazing show called Walking with Dinosaurs. We were so excited and so impressed with this new technology, and it seemed like an amazing opportunity to take the story of our movie and actually be able to bring it to life in a live show in a way that people have never seen before.
What I loved is it set us almost, initially impossible challenges. We needed dragons who would blow fire and could fly through the sky. We needed to tell a story about oceans and ships and tell it in a arena. And I think that if something's hard to do, it engages one's imagination. It challenges you, and I love that.
There's so many things in it, everything from robotic dragons to things that are flying in the air, running on walls, they're swimming underwater. There's so much going on all at once. It's this amazing spectacle, and then on top of that, you have this brilliant story. Hiccup's a young boy trying to find his way in the world and doesn't have any friends. His dad wishes he was more of a man. And
Hiccup! What are you doing out here? Just do as you're told and get inside!
so he tries to prove it by going out to shoot down a dragon, and he just ends up in more trouble. And
Yes, I hit it!
I shot down a night fury, Dad! Enough, Hiccup!
Hiccup, I just kind of stay away from him because me and him are on two different sides of the world. I'm determined and I train every day and I work hard for what I want. Whereas him, he sits at home making toys and diddle-daddles, and he's not big and buff like everyone else and Burke.
What were you thinking of, son? Just wanted to be one of you guys.
eventually he just finds out that he can't kill dragons, and he befriends them.
Slowly, she starts feeling this sense of competition with Hiccup because he doesn't train these dragons in the typical way that they've been taught to train the dragons.
She's at the top of the class, Hiccup's at the bottom of the class, and she doesn't want anything to do with him. And then when he starts taming these dragons and he starts surpassing her,
wow, he's better than you ever were.
then she starts to get jealous and she really wants to know what's going on.
The scene in the forest, which leads into the scene where they fly the dragon, she starts to realize and she gets to experience the total opposite that she's been trained her whole life to believe. These dragons kill us, these dragons are bad.
Now hold on tight. Here we go. Nice, huh?
And then I think at its core is a great and very compelling relationship between a father and a son. A father that wants the son to be everything that he is.
You're going to do the training. But Dad,
And ultimately has to learn that he's got to allow his son to be the best version of himself. And that story, that heart at the core of this, I think, is invaluable.
good luck, son. Thanks, Dad.
All stories boil down to this very simple ideas, and the more universal you can make them, the better it is. I think we just went for a very classical theme, which is to be true to yourself, and something that the world might perceive as a weakness can actually be your greatest strength.
I need you all to see this. They aren't what we think they are.
If you don't have a great story, it all kind of collapses. And so seeing how Nigel was able to bring that to life in this amazing 2-hour presentation is incredible.
DreamWorks Animation wanted to create an amazing live show that brings the world of Vikings and dragons to life.
You scared him.
I scared him?
They searched the globe and found director Nigel Jameson. His job? Easy. All he had to do was make the impossible possible. And after 4 years in the making, the dream has finally been realized.
We really were inspired by global creatures, and we really felt there was an opportunity to take this pioneering technology that they created and to apply it to the world of dragons. And I have to say, they have more than exceeded any expectations we had.
So you like to draw too, huh? Oh, sorry.
And there's no one better to tell this unique story than our director, Nigel. I mean, right from the beginning, he's had to take some pretty crazy scenes and try and make them work in real life.
I completely have attempted to make the best show one could possibly make with the amazing resources and the beautiful story that has been put at our disposal. If something doesn't amuse me, then I don't know how to direct it. I can only make something that I think is beautiful and moving and creative or funny.
I'll think of something.
Nigel's done an amazing job sitting through the rehearsal process. You're really aware that it's not easy to combine that sort of storytelling and spectacle in this vast arena space.
1,000 people in all have worked on the show. We've got 27 dragons in a remarkable flying rig that lets them fly and spin and turn and dive through this world. A total of 2,000 square meters of projection, so the whole floor and the whole back wall, all kind of animated. And it's been a real thrill to bring this amazing story to the stage.
We've had just a really world-class team. We encourage Nigel and the creative team working on this to be able to take license, to do their own version of it. So fundamentally, it's going to tell the story of How to Train Your Dragon, but it's going to do it in a unique way.
We don't have to kill them. There's another way.
The dragons aren't the only thing that get to fly in this show. Yep, that's me up there on Toothless, soaring around the arena.
Hey, I think I'm finally getting the hang of this.
The other actors and I went through some difficult training to prepare for our roles. We had to scale walls, fly through the air. We even had to go toe-to-toe with those fiery dragons.
We went twice around the world looking for our cast. We ended up with 2 Hiccups, 2 Astrids, and we found the 7-time world sports judo champion, and we found some trickers and hip-hop artists, and we just couldn't believe their energy and their kind of freshness, so we roped them in.
To me, Astrid is a kick-butt girl, and I think she knows she's a kick-butt girl. And Hiccup is a little troublemaker.
Back, I say! Into your cage!
And she doesn't want anything to do with him. And then when he starts taming these dragons, then she starts to get jealous and she really wants to know what's going on.
Hiccup, run!
No, it's okay, it's okay. She's a friend.
And then she learns that he has been flying with this dragon, and she starts to realize that they're not evil creatures, and they become really great friends.
It's amazing. He's amazing.
Everyone has different backgrounds on this set, not just actors and dancers. We have Godfrey, he plays Snotloud.
What's wrong, buddy? You got something in your eye?
Dexter, he plays Fishlegs.
I'm okay!
And these are the Joker twins, Collie and Luke, who play Rough Nut and Tough Nut.
Everyone knows I'm more irritating, see?
One of the total, utter delights of this project has been to see that cast come together and their energy. It thrills me just to watch them.
Building dragons from scratch is no small deal. And they don't just look real. They had to move like the real thing and be fast enough to chase us around the arena. Here's a look at the talented team that brings our dragons to life in the How to Train Your Dragon Live Spectacular.
Initially, it was looking at footage from the film and trying to establish how we would take those designs and translate them into physical creatures which could actually run around the arena or fly around the arena. One of Nigel's ideas for this was to combine lots of different puppetry techniques as much as we could. So there's elements of glove puppetry, shadow puppetry, and flying things, marionettes, all within the show, as well as our animatronics.
The process of making a dragon essentially starts with establishing the look of the dragon on a very small scale. So we sculpt a little 1 to 10 or 1 to 20 little maquette.
So once we've actually scanned the plasticine maquette, we can create a 3D model of the character, and that scanned data is used to create the 3D print. Is also given to Dominic, our head of digital design, who can then manipulate the model to incorporate the internal controls.
We begin by getting the mechanism, and we use this ultimately to create animated walk cycles and put that data into the actual control systems of the creature.
I hope you're hungry.
The main breakthrough is the bringing together of a multitude of technologies. It's a combination of high-end computer and mechanical engineering.
Let me just take a look at that tail of yours.
On this front leg, for instance, we have, I think it's about 7 axes driving that leg, lifting it up, placing it down, shrugging the shoulder, tilting the paw at just the right angle, and then placing it down on the ground. And that's actually very difficult for a robot to do in a naturalistic way, and that's what we are all about, is making robots that look realistic.
Toothless has over 30 servos to articulate body, ear movements, lip movements, eyes, but right through to some very detailed facial expressions.
The lead voodoo that does Toothless, Brian, he's an awesome guy, and every time that I play with Toothless, instead of playing with this robotic dragon, I think of this dragon that has the personality of Brian.
The voodoo rig is a miniature version of the large dragons that you're seeing on stage. So all those axes of movements on this kind of device correlate back to the movement of the large dragons on the stage. And then there's another voodoo puppeteer who operates some of the auxiliary movements. So they do all the sounds live, they open the mouth, they control the wings of the creature, and they've also got all the effects that you'll see on stage. And then the driver, who's responsible for the path and the speed that the creature takes.
There's personalities to these creatures. They take kids and adults on a journey. They're living, breathing, roaring.
Our workflow is now incorporating more of those lightweight components, carbon fibre, fiberglass, carbon Kevlar fabrics. Like we've gone with a much more high-end approach to the construction of the skulls, for example, which enable you to do more in performance. And then we get the final finishing touches before the characters go into their containers. So at this stage, this final touch is being done to both our half-scale nightmare and our full-scale nightmare. There's various special effects that have to be installed, and there's actually on-stage effects where we'll get real flame.
One of the fantastic things about this show, it's so complex. So we've got you guys on stage, we've got flight track dragons, we've got fire breathing, we've got smoke rings, we've got just simple little gags like Gobber is fending off the dragon, shoves it in the Gronkle's mouth, the Gronkle digests the chair, and it comes out his delightful backside in the form of wood chips.
It's such a clever blending of techniques to create something that kind of transcends the space, really. I couldn't have anticipated that it was going to be this elaborate. I can only imagine what a 10-year-old sitting in the audience is going to think. I mean, these things look like they're living and breathing and stomping around.
Okay, Sarah, so what's your favorite dragon?
I love the little egg biters. They're so cute.
No, I'd have to go with the stingers, guys. I mean, they're so fast.
I'd have to go with the Gronkle. Have you guys seen how far he can blow those smoke rings? It's incredible.
I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Toothless.
You're so predictable.
No, really, guys. He is so awesome. The dragons themselves look so realistic. Sometimes I forget they're puppets. Everything that this arena spectacular is doing is huge. Take this projection screen, for instance. Now, a normal cinema screen is about 360 feet square. You can fit up to 9 screens on our back wall alone, and then double it on the ground space.
It was pretty daunting to start with, and also being asked to design the projection and the visuals and everything that had to do with this world that had to be illustrated.
Often video sits at the back and it can play and it can be cut and edited. We're talking about many projectors, so just the way they're stitched together is very challenging. And because we're trying to fly someone around a space, that every move that they make has to be related to the projection.
It's almost like playing a virtual reality video games. The screen's the back wall, and I'm like flying on the dragon. I'm going through, and it's like, oh no, turn right, no, kid, don't hit the rock, and come on, Toothless, we got this. And then when I get it, it's like, yes!
Don't worry, we got it covered! Yeah! Woo!
The flying rig, it's like an enormous train system, like a metro system in the air, flying dragons around, because there's tracks and there's changes and there's switches. The flying rig in itself is a whole show worth of complexity.
The flight track is basically an inverted monorail. So the idea is there are a pair of I-beam tracks that travel around in a configuration which is a sort of an extended figure eight with an outer perimeter, with the ability to switch between different sections of the track and move trolleys around so we can change direction.
It's the size of a football field. with a train system on top of it, flipped upside down, with carriages carrying dragons, traveling up to 20 miles per hour.
Sitting on an actual dragon and seeing the detail up close and seeing the movements and knowing that there's a flight track, tons and tons of weight above my head, and all this is happening in front of an audience of thousands of people, it's just magical.
Just in case you haven't noticed, the dragons are enormous. The stage is massive. Really, everything about this production is huge. But as big as this show is, the team can still pack everything up and move it to a new city in one day. Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. But that's how it makes its way to your city.
The biggest thing is probably the fact that we're having to move something that ordinarily you would try and sit down in a venue for quite a long time. So building it to be able to tour very quickly. I mean, it's got 2-day turnaround, so we pull out on the Sunday night, travel on the Monday, put the show up on Tuesday and perform on Wednesday. That's a fairly rapid movement for something this size.
Everything has to fit in one of these containers, so each container is only 12 metres long by about 2.4 by 2.4. You see at the moment, Nat is in the process of being dismantled so they can fit into one of these containers, and every week they come out again and they're undone and off they go.
I think we really wanted to create a sense of wonder at scale. The level of perfection in terms of engineering and the programming and all of that is very, very rigorous.
Everything is amazing about the show, from the cast to the dragon to the projections. It's exhilarating. Every show is awesome.
These dragons are going to excite audiences all over the world. Even though we're playing on 5 continents, we'll be in a new city every week. So take it from me and catch them while you can.
What the audience will love about these dragons is that these creatures move so realistic. They breathe fire, they roar.
Global creatures, the meticulous ways that they create the creatures and their attention to detail and color and texture in the character work and in the sets and in the projection and how they're doing the music, just to give you the same type of feeling the movie gave you.
Really love moments where Hiccup and Toothless connect and you see this building of a relationship. So this scene, first touch, that is similar to the movie. I think you really get that sense of sentience from the creature, that it's alive and breathing and thinking about this moment.
We are trying to do something new. We are trying to do something special. We are trying to push the boundaries in a new way.
Look at us! We're on a dragon! We're on dragons! All of us!
It's groundbreaking and incredibly special. I just walked around here just with my eyes wide and my jaw dropped open all day, just completely taken with what they're doing.
The show is spectacular. Even though I've seen it a billion times backstage, in front of stage, in the audience, I'm still amazed.
My favorite part of being in the show is the audience reaction. When they see me take flight on Toothless for the very first time, it's a thrilling moment.
Higher, Toothless! Higher!
At the end of the day, when you watch Toothless and Hiccup see the kids riding through on those dragons, I hope all that technology has boiled down to a story and an emotion and relationships and creatures and people loving and learning and struggling. And technology allows us to create some of the wonder and some of the scale, but it is finally about telling a heartfelt, powerful story.
Come on, bud!
Grabs you by the heart and it just takes you on this wonderful journey.
I'm gonna fix that tail of yours.
I think it's groundbreaking. It's very entertaining.
The actors are sensational. I mean, what you see in the movie is what you see on the stage.
Watch out, babe. I'll take care of this.
It was amazing, and I like Toothless.
I thought it was really exciting. It was my favourite movie, and then they turned it to a show, and it was, like, amazing.
And the best part was watching the faces of my little boys as each part of the story unfolded, and they were absolutely spellbound.
Working with the creatures on the How to Train Your Dragon live spectacular has truly been the experience of a lifetime. I hope you come to see us when the World Tour soars into your town. See you there.